There are cars that only feel special once you've lived with them for a while. The Mazda CX-5 is one of them. For years, the CX-5 has been known as the best to drive SUV in its class. It's not the biggest, it's not the most advanced on paper, but it always has something hard to describe. Feel. The feel of the steering wheel, the feel of the pedals, the feeling of the car moving according to your will. And now, in 2026, Mazda is introducing the next generation CX-5 with a modest promise. Not a revolution, not an extreme change, but an improvement that, they say, we've been waiting for. From the outside, the design changes feel evolutionary. The silhouette is still distinctly CX-5. The proportions remain balanced, the hood is long, the overhangs are neat, and the body lines are clean without too much drama. Mazda isn't trying to make it look overly aggressive. Instead, they've refined an already mature design language. The headlights look sharper, the grille is more defined, and the details now feel more precise. It's not a design that will make people look twice because it's odd, but because it's elegant. And amidst the increasingly crowded SUV scene filled with sharp lines, Mazda's approach feels mature. Once inside the cabin, the changes become more significant. The interior of the 2026 CX-5 now feels more modern without losing its identity. The layout remains driver-focused, but the infotainment screen is now larger and positioned more naturally in the line of sight. The materials feel smoother, the details are more refined, and the cabin insulation feels more thoughtful. It feels like Mazda has truly listened to the criticisms of the previous generation. The infotainment system is now more responsive, smartphone integration feels faster, and most importantly, everything remains intuitive without creating a confusing, touch-heavy dashboard. The seating position remains one of the best in its class, low but commanding. You feel at one with the car, not just sitting on it. So what does it feel like to drive? This is where the big question arises. Is this the upgrade we've been waiting for? As soon as a car gets underway, the CX-5's distinctive character is immediately apparent. The steering is precise, the weight is just right, and the response feels natural. It's not too light, like most family SUVs, but it's not overly heavy either. Mazda still adheres to its Jinba Itai philosophy, the unity between car and driver. If there's a noticeable improvement, it's an overall refinement. The suspension is now more mature, small bumps feel better damped, but the car remains stable even when cornering faster. This isn't an SUV for speeding, but when you encounter an empty, winding road, the CX-5 still brings a smile to your face. And the engine, depending on the market, now comes with more efficient options and the possibility of mild electrification or hybridization. And this is important, because in this era, performance alone isn't enough. Efficiency and emissions are part of the conversation. Strikingly, the engine's character remains linear. There are no strange surges, no too digital feel. The transmission operates smoothly, and gear changes are barely noticeable in normal use. At cruising speeds, the CX-5 feels quieter than before. Road and wind noise are much more controlled, and this makes long journeys feel more relaxing. And perhaps this is the real improvement we've been waiting for, not just new technology, but a refined experience. Mazda seems to realize that the CX-5 is no longer just a compact SUV. It's already the backbone of the brand in many countries. So instead of radically changing it, they've chosen to polish what already works well. But of course, not everyone will be immediately impressed. On paper, the CX-5 may not offer the biggest screen, the most brutal power, or the most futuristic features compared to its rivals. But then again, the CX-5 rarely wins on numbers. It wins on feel. And that's the hard thing to quantify. When you drive this car in silence, without music, without distractions, you start to realize that everything feels unified. The brakes are progressive, the throttle is easy to control, the body doesn't feel wobbly. This is an SUV that keeps the driver feeling involved, not just a passenger behind the wheel. Is this the improvement we've been waiting for? If you're waiting for radical change, maybe not. But if you're waiting for a more mature, refined, and modern CX-5 without losing its soul, then the answer might be yes. The 2026 CX-5 feels like the result of much reflection. It's not a car that blindly follows trends, but one that knows its identity and has refined the small details that have been lacking. And sometimes, the best improvements aren't the loudest ones, but the ones that are most noticeable when you actually drive it.